episode of Outside the Box, where we collect your questions from the builders and Facebook, Twitter, email, phone calls, text messages, anywhere we can. And we put them in the box, we pull them out, we answer your questions right here, live in studio. So I'm here with Christy Bauer, my partner in crime for today. We're going to jump in and pull one of these questions out and get started. So Christy, can I create groups in bulk, and when would that be a good strategy?
Yes, we do have a tool where you can create groups in bulk. A lot of times if a church already has their groups set out or they're on an Activate model, they have a big list of groups they want to implement, every quarter or every semester, that's a good time to import groups in bulk through our group bulk importer, updater tool. If you go over to our help desk, type in group imports, you'll get an article there that tells you how to do it.
Great. I don't have anything to add. Would you like to?
Yes.
Do the honors?
Okay. I have a group of people that aren't communicating in the city. If they don't reply to anything, what can I do?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is church discipline. No, I'm kidding. I would say usually what happens is that somebody just doesn't see the value of the tool. So the biggest thing that I would highlight is just that there's a synergy that happens when all group leaders are on the same page. So it's not just that they're choosing not to use this functioning tool for communication within their group, but they're also discouraging that communication in other groups by creating a separate instance where they're doing the communication. Usually when people kind of understand that their actions are detracting from the whole church, they kind of wake up and see like, oh, like I get it. Like I want to be encouraging. I want to create unity. The other thing is that it could just be a group that doesn't need to use this city. Not every group that's at your church has to have a presence on the city with a group to be able to do communication, because there's just not enough communication to justify them having a group. So just a couple things to consider. Christy?
Okay. How do I know if people are seeing my topics?
That's a really good one. The easiest way is to better familiarize yourself with the statistics that are at the top of each topic. There's opens and sent out. I'm trying to remember follow. How many people are following? How many times it's viewed? Things like that. So, getting to understand what each of those statistics mean, and then just looking at that will kind of tell you the reach that specific topic is I don't know, participating in or having. Yeah. Other ways is, you can always follow the engagement for the city entirely. We often kind of feel like this has to be seen by people. What is this? If it's a schedule, then this becomes very important. If it's, I'm putting out a encouragement for this week's study coming up in my small group, people are going to see that at different times. So, you put it out there, kind of let people interact with it the way that it would be. Not necessarily directly answering the question with the how-to, but getting more at the which ones you should be worrying about seeing that impact from. So,
perfect.
Do another one. What does the Memberize button do?
Awesome. So we do have a button on the city called Memberize, and you can customize it to say anything you want. But typically speaking, that button is used for churches that have a membership process. They'll send people through their membership process, they become an official member of the church, and then they're marked in the city. So that way when they communicate, they can use that as a filter basically, and then a way to see, who's been through the membership process. So an example would be, we have a new membership class coming up at church, and we want to advertise that to the entire congregation. So we get on the city and the church level group, and we start creating a promotion. But on that promotion, we mark guests only. So the people that have already become members are not able to view the membership promotion. And then on the back end, for statistics and metrics, it's a really good way to gauge just where your congregation is at in the sense of commitment and participation.
Any fun ideas to increase usage or get new users?
Yes, I work with some youth ministries that are trying to adopt the city. And one of the cool ways I've seen is the youth pastors getting on the city and hiding stuff. So maybe before the Wednesday meeting, they get on the city and say, hey, there's $5 underneath the left cushion and the couch in the back. Or they'll do a raffle. And the only way to participate in that is to be on the city, read something, and then start engaging from there. I've seen churches do church-wide raffles for movie tickets or anything that fits along the lines of the current sermon series they're doing. Maybe a pastor has written a new book or there's a new Bible study series out, raffling those off. Those have always been pretty good, pretty engaging ways to get people on the city and have fun. All right, last one. My church is synched. How should we invite people into the city for launch?
It really depends on any number of variables. The advantage of inviting people from your ACS database is that they'll be synced up automatically with the file or the profile on the city. So when they activate that invitation, they'll go from an offline user that's stored in your city database right to an online user that's already synced up with your ACS database. The disadvantage of that is that the administrators are the only ones that can invite people in that scenario. Excuse me. If you are looking to have more grassroots impact, and where your group leaders could invite someone who just showed up to their group, was a friend of someone, they're going to need to be invited from the city, that group leader kind of having the ability to do that. It will still sync back up to the ACS database. It'll look for someone that's in there that has that same profile information. If it doesn't find someone, it'll create someone. If it finds someone that's not quite 100% matched up, it will still create someone. You'll have a record of that in the ACS database. So often they'll come up under like duplicate users, things like that. So the real answer is that there's not a specific time that this is the way you're going to do it or that's the way you're going to do it. You're going to need to be familiar with the different ways that people can be invited and use them when it's the appropriate time by having both back-end administration things that you'll be doing, but also front-end empowerment of your leaders. So that is all the time we have for today. I think we broke a record. And we need some more questions to fill the box up so that next time we can take them out of the box. So send us your questions in on the builders, through the support desk, email, telephone, carrier pigeon, any way that works. So God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Carrier pigeon rock.
That was a killer.
Hello builders, welcome to this month's episode of Out of the Box. This is the monthly broadcast where
Outside the box.
Out of the box?
Outside the box.
Outside the box. And we gather your questions from the city and email, direct mailings, from builders, Twitter, email, Facebook, phone calls, text messages, Bird. And we are going to jump right into the first question.
I forgot to hit record before you actually clapped.